afternoon, villagers. This is Arnie with Pepper Tree Villa, still reeling from a sugar hangover from the taste of Valentine's Day last night. Not really, I'm doing okay actually. But I must say there are people here. Oh my goodness, Jim with that cheese-shaped heart, the gin and rhubarb cheese. I'm still laughing about it today at the office as I'm telling people. Still just so funny. I brought in some of the snacks here and people have been very appreciative. And the rousing reply to everyone is that those little shortbread, the chocolate shortbread hearts, has been the favorite here in the office, followed by jelly beans. So people like the jelly beans. But the gummies, the gummy hugs and kisses, oh, Mike, so sweet. The gummy hugs and kisses that we had, some people cannot tell the difference between the flavors. They kind of like taste too much the same, but you know, that's what we felt like last night, the fact that they were just kept sticking to my teeth. So, but everyone, thank you to everyone that participated last night. We had so much fun with it. I cannot wait to do it again. But we'll definitely be doing that probably around Easter. So in a few weeks, sometimes we'll get the taste of Easter going. Of course, that's when we will try those. If you saw the very end, that was when we will definitely be sampling the Peeps cereal. Now, me, I am not fond of marshmallow. Well, not manufactured marshmallow like that. So I don't know how I'm going to take it. I'll give it a try. Mr. Todd Hall, thank you for being here. Peekaboo to you too. Let me go ahead and get started. There's a lot of news here on top of the history. A couple of news items that I want to mention. So let's go ahead and start with the history here. Dougie, Mr. Waltograms, good to see you here. February 11th, 2020, it's time for the Daily Dose of Disney. On this day in 1969, it was announced that there was an agreement between a company called Allen Contracting and presidents of 17 individual international unions involving the construction of the first phase of Walt Disney World. Jim, Mr. More Sunshine, please. Season's greetings. Good to have you, Jim. Thanks again for your help last night. That was so much fun, Jim. And Danny, thank you. Two Real Geeks, great to see you. Pam's fam, wonderful. Disney World freak, Carlos, it is always great to see you. Thank you for being here. Noah, thank you. Thank you for being here. And Lena, thank you as well. It was great to see you. Samantha, welcome to the stream. So there was an agreement between all these people. Lucky 3, welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. There was an agreement between all these people so that it would assure that construction would continue at Walt Disney World without any threat of a work stoppage. So no strikes or anything like that. They were guaranteed for 3 years that there would be no problems with construction, at least from a union side for labor. They would make sure that everyone was continuing to work to make sure that place was built as quickly as possible. Yeah, the chat's very active tonight. Thank you, everyone. I'm so glad that you're all here. Thank you. In 1970, on this day, February 11th. Now, this is pretty early. This is a lot earlier than I expected. Hey, Charlie, thank you for joining. Everyone, you know the movie Song of the South? Okay, so on this day in 1970, apparently the magazine Variety, it's an entertainment magazine, they announced that Disney secretly took the movie Song of the South out of circulation back in 1958. And they did that because Variety claimed that the movie was pulled because of racist attitudes in the film. It was pulled in 1958, according to Variety magazine. That's a lot earlier than I thought. I was pretty sure that that movie had been released, well, at least during my lifetime, but I guess not. Because I don't remember ever seeing that movie in the theater. That's me. I just don't remember that at all. But that was in 1970 that was announced in Variety magazine. On this day in 1976, a little Disney film came out. It was called No Deposit, No Return. Now, it's a pretty forgettable film, but for me as a kid, one thing I do remember from that is a little pet animal in that movie. It was actually a skunk. The skunk's name was Duster, and he belonged to the boy, a guy played by Brad Savage. His sister was played by Kim Richards. You may recognize at least Kim from Escape to Witch Mountain and other things. She was a very little popular child actress at that time. The movie was about two safecrackers, or would-be safecrackers, that faked a kidnapping of these two kids so they could get some money. But it backfired and everything, so hilarity ensued, of course. It starred people like Herschel Bernardi, Barbara Feldon, Vic Tayback, and Bob Hastings. These are all actors from the 70s. You wouldn't really recognize them. The only one you may recognize is probably Barbara Feldon from the show Get Smart. Or maybe you'd remember Vic Tayback. He was the chief cook and owner of Mel's Diner on the show Alice, and that was back in the 70s and 80s. So for those of you that are TV buffs, you'll remember those actors. Let's move forward to 1994. Speaking of another TV show, Family Ties. Of course, Alex P. Keaton and Mallory and the whole family, the Keaton family. Remember Mr. and Mrs. Keaton? They had a boy during the run of that series. Yep, Pearl, Bob Hoskins was definitely from Roger Rabbit. Exactly. There's a little kid, though. It's TV Day on PTV. Oh, Danny. I should probably have a conversation with Jess about some of this stuff. Anyway, in 1994, a movie came out called Blank Check, and it starred a kid named Brian Bonsall. Now, Brian played the character of Adam. Was it Andy? Sorry, Andy. Andy, Alex P. Keaton's little brother that was born during the run of that series. So he's the little kid that, if you remember, there was this episode of Family Ties where Andy, the little brother, just worshipped his brother, and he called him Alex. He says, Alex is king. Just remember that. But the movie was about Brian's character. Let's see if I've got the name of his character here. Preston Waters. And he's hit. His bike is hit mistakenly by a guy. And the guy gives the kid a blank check, forgets to write in the amount. Brian Bonsall jokingly puts in $1 million, cashes it. It goes through. He's got all this money, and suddenly he is spending money like crazy. And the whole movie, I guess, is after this guy, Carl, who's a crook, by the way, he realizes his mistake, and he goes looking for the boy. I've never seen the movie. I didn't even check to see if it's on Disney Plus. So Noah, you are my Disney Plus expert. Can you go check that out? Is the movie Blank Check currently on Disney Plus? If so, I might check it out. Anyway, let's move on. Movie in 2000 that came out on this day was the Tigger movie. Oh, Amy, you liked the movie? It was good? Okay. I've never seen it. I don't know what that movie's like. So I'll have to check that out. So the Tigger movie came out, and this was a movie that I've never seen the Tigger movie. I do like Pooh and the 100-Acre Wood, but I just never saw the Tigger movie. But I do know this, though, and that is the Sherman Brothers wrote songs for that movie, and it was the first movie. Okay, thank you, Noah. Thank you for confirming that. Blank Check is on Disney Plus. So in the Tigger movie, the Sherman Brothers wrote music for this movie. It was the first movie in over 28 years for which they had written a song. So, and this one, they wrote 5 songs. 5 songs for that movie. So that's pretty good. Sherman Brothers in 2000 for the Tigger movie. Didn't do too bad at the box office. That opening weekend made almost $10 million too. So, for a low-budget animation film, not too bad. In 2004, on this day, there is a company out there called Comcast. A lot of you know it as Xfinity for their product of cable and internet. Comcast. They announced a hostile bid for a takeover of Disney, and the stock jumped 15%. Zach, how you doing, Zach? Good to see you. 2005, on this day, the movie, the Pooh's Heffalump movie came out on this day. Heffalumps, of course, are fictional elephants in in the world of Pooh and the 100-Acre Woods. They're first mentioned, as far as Disney's concerned, in the movie Winnie the Pooh and the Blustery Day. So, yeah, that was Pooh's Heffalump movie came out, and it's Roo, the little kangaroo. He discovers a playful young 4-footed creature named Heffridge Trumpler Brompet, Heffalump the Fourth. He called him Lumpy. He's voiced by a guy named Kyle Stranger. But yeah, this is another Pooh film I have never seen. Never seen the Heffalump movie either. So I don't know. Maybe I'll check it out. Noah, is that one on Disney Plus? I hope so, because I'm kind of interested in seeing Pooh's Heffalump movie now. And then finally, if you saw my tweet or the post on Instagram, you saw a picture of Mickey's Toontown Fair at Magic Kingdom. So on this day, Mickey's Toontown Fair closed in 2011. And they did that so they could make room. Dances with Goofy, it's good to see you. On this day, they did that because they needed the room there for the expansion of Fantasyland. Oh, Cynthia, thank you so much. I'm glad I could help you with that. So they did this expansion, but the only thing from the Toontown Fair that survives was Goofy's Barnstormer, the little roller coaster. Now, I know the similar roller coaster at Disneyland, it's called Gadget's Go Coaster, which is still in Toontown. Man. But yeah, on this day, Toontown closed in 2011. Yeah, hey, Goofy. I do like Goofy. I do like Goofy. Yeah, Toontown, it's actually a nice place, and looking forward to the expansion they're doing. We're going to be getting Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in Mickey's Toontown come 2022, 2023, sometime around there. They are working on doing that as part of the expansion of Disneyland. So the expansion continues. So we'll see what happens. Oh, good. Good. Glad that. Okay, now a couple news items here. Disneyland, of course, they announced ticket price increases. It usually happens around this time. Some people are upset about it. I look at it as inevitable. It's always going to happen. The one that I care about personally is the annual pass that I have. It's called a Flex Pass. And according to this, the Flex Pass is going to be going up $50. So instead of being $599 a year, it's now $649. And the only time that Doug and I cannot go is during the weeks of Christmas and New Year's, that 2-week period in December into January. Donna Jaworski, thank you for joining. It is good to have you here. So with that in mind, you're able to do anything you want to get into the park as long as you have a reservation. That's the difference between a regular annual pass and a Flex Pass. You have to make a reservation. You can make a reservation up to 30 days in advance. So far, anytime that Doug and I have wanted a reservation, it has not been a problem. We've made it into the park. So, yeah, not a problem. So I'm not concerned about that. Okay. Also, not only are the prices of the tickets going up, but also at Disneyland, there's this thing called Max Pass. It is access to the digital Fast Pass system where you don't have to get the paper. You actually can have it in your phone. You can get a new Fast Pass like every 90 minutes. You're not limited to just 3 in the day, and you cannot make your reservations for Fast Passes ahead of time. You have to be in the park, and then you can start using Max Pass. That used to be $15 a day. Now it's $20. If you want it attached to an annual pass, it used to be $100 for the year. Now it's $125 a year. So I mentioned all these price increases because, as Amy just stated, the prices went up at Walt Disney World as well. And for those, I am sure Jim of More Sunshine Please will be covering that in his news show today. Jim will be on at 7:30 this evening. Let's see. That's all I have here for news. Let me go ahead and say a couple things here. One, first, moderators, thank you for doing what you do. It is great to see you. And I just noticed just another Disney nerd. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. And Cynthia says Disneyland in 2021. Keep us posted, Cynthia. I would like to see if Doug and I and Ben might be able to join you at least to have a meet up there at Disneyland. So tonight on the Disney YouTube network, in just 15 minutes, Zippity Doodad is going to be live. He is going to be celebrating his first anniversary on YouTube. So he's got his show at 6:30. Following that show at 7:30, more sunshine, please. Mr. Jim, Mr. I'd buy cheese in the shape of a heart that's flavored with gin and rhubarb. Cheese is still making me laugh. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the show that we did last night on PTV Live. It was the Taste of Valentine's Day. We had a blast. So much fun. And then tonight also at 8 o'clock, we have Mouse Talk, Walt and Melissa. I got to laugh so much listening to it. Cynthia, we were laughing the whole time ourselves. And then tonight at 9:30, we have a couple of shows going. One, Dean of the Life Place. We love the Life Place. They advertise our show all the time. So yeah, the Live Place is, Dean is going to be live tonight at 9:30. And so is Two Real Geeks. Two Real Geeks with Phantasmic Chronicles. Tony and Danny are going to be talking about the world of randomness. And that's at 9:30 tonight on Two Real Geeks. So you've got lots to watch tonight. There's plenty there. If you don't watch one at the time that it's actually on, make sure you go watch the replay. So, or if you have two devices, stream both at the same time and interact with both audiences. So it is possible to watch more than one thing on YouTube. So there you go. I have my support channels, Two Real Geeks, D&G Explorers, The Orlando Guy, More Sunshine Please, and Rob Fuzz. Jim, there you are. Thank you. And Danny, Two Real Geeks, thank you for being there. And thank you for always helping us out when we need assistance. And we're always there to help you anytime we need it. Anytime you need it too. Everyone, I've got to get ready because I'm going to be back in about 15 minutes. I'll be on Zippity Doodad. He's asked me to be a part of his anniversary show, so I'll hop on there for a couple of minutes. In the meantime, everyone, I better get going. Oh, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much, Cynthia. Get your PTV gear. It's at shop.spreadshirt.com/PTV. Sorry, not PTV, /Pepper Tree Villa. Definitely check it out. If you want to see what some of the shirts look like, just watch our channel from last night's show when we were doing the Taste of Valentine's Day. And then also check out the mugs and the bags and the hats while you're there. So I'm going to PM you with an idea. Thank you, Cynthia. Go ahead. That'd be great. In the meantime, everyone, I better get going. I've got a couple things on my desk to do before I leave today, too, before I get into the stream with Patrick. So everyone, I'll see you later. Have a magical evening and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow. And I'll see you tomorrow with another edition of The Daily Dose of Disney. Bye, everyone.